Archer, she would she would shoot in the balls. Dudley and Kitty, I think she'd be sick of. Austin, she'd try to keep her hands off him. Brock Sampson, she'd be terrified of. Stan would be, she'd punch him in the face. And Black Dynamite, oh, she'd be in bed with him. I mean, despite age difference, I think, yeah, no one can resist Black Dynamite. Dynamite! Dynamite! It's Black Dynamite, man. You can't, no woman can resist Dynamite. Dynamite. Anyway, what would okay? Oh, sorry. Nolan. Thank you for those questions, Andre. Moving on now to Nolan Uno, who asks, "What would James Bond think of Kim and of each other?" I think he would think, you Americans make child soldiers out of everyone, don't you? So, I think it would be a I think, yeah, Kim would just be like, you're a sexist asshole. But I think at the end of the day, they'd have respect for one another. Second question, would Kim be a good Jedi? Would Kim be a good Jedi? I'd say yes. Although it's kind of funny because in one fanfiction I was kind of playing with Kim's agent of the Empire. Yeah. Anyway. Third question, what are your top 10 possible Kim possible crossovers you want to see? I guess in any order, but here you go. Spider-Man, Ninja Turtles, Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, Star vs. the Force of Evil, Black Widow, Batman, Doctor Who, Equestria Girls, and Toxic Avenger. Why the fuck not? Anyway, thank you for those questions, Nolan. Moving on now to Alistair Boneman, who asks, if they made a superhero team out of Disney characters, what role do you think Kim would play, and who else would be on the team? Okay, like basically a Avengers team made of Disney characters. Kim would definitely be the leader. She would be the straight-up leader of this team. No doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about that. So, who would else be on this team? Jake Long, Randy Cunningham, Star Butterfly, Marco, and Pen Zero, along with Sashi Boone, and Boone, and Dipper and Mabel for backup. There you go. Second question, if you could create a new villain for Kim and her friends, who would they be and what are their goal and gimmicks? I think what I would like to have is, like, maybe have a... Who would I have? Have a psychic villain. Let's have a psychic villain, yeah. Or someone like Mr. X from Wolverine's Rogues Gallery, where you could basically read the basically the nerve endings of your body and basically map out your nerve endings and see which muscle you're going to move and predict it and counter it. Kind of like that. Like he could counter every move Kim has. Alright. Third question. Gargoyles, Kim Possible crossover. How would you write it? How would I write Kim Possible and Gargoyles? I think what I would like to do is have, maybe have Demona, Demona, like, steal some kind of tech from, the laboratory, Kim Possible's, Kim's mom's works at, and kidnaps her in the process, and, Kim and Ron go out to look for her, and meet the gargoyles along the way. That's kind of the rough idea I got, so, yeah. Thank you for those questions, Alistair. Moving on now to Treva Smolka, who asks, okay, first question. What is your opinion of the Kim Possible TV movie that involved time travel, and do you think it was a good finale for the entire series? Because in my opinion, I thought I liked it. I thought it was a pretty good ending. Second question, what is your favorite season of this entire series as a whole, plus who is your favorite character of the entire series as the whole? Okay, I like Kim Possible. My favorite character, my favorite season would have to be season 2 and season 2 and a bit of season 3. Although the final season had some good parts. Yeah. Favorite character, like I said, Kim Possible and Shigo. Final question. If you had the power to bring the show back from the dead, how would you reboot Kim Possible, or would you continue where the show left off? I think what I'd like to do is continue where the show left off. Like maybe an older Kim, like a little older. She's a more experienced spy. And she's almost become like a Black Widow type character, really. And you got Ron there, still at her side, and maybe Rufus too, because naked mole rats don't live that long, guys. They don't. Anyway. Thanks. There was questions. Travis Smolka. Moving on now to Malangar, who asks, "Does Draken meet Zim? What happens?" Total chaos and everyone screaming. Well, them screaming, more or less. Speaking of which, have you seen the picture comparing Kim and Ron to Hawkeye and Black Widow? Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it a lot. I think it's hilarious. I now want to have some. I know it's probably been done in fan fiction, but if I ever do a Kim Possible story, I want to do a story where Kim and Ron are getting attacked, and just have that quote from Avengers of "This is a lot different from this is just like our time in Budapest," and Ron going, "You and I remember Budapest very differently." Anyway, so thank you for those questions, Malangar. Moving on now to XP Pastrana, who asks, do you think they should have a reunion special event? I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I mean, they're doing a Perry the Platypus special this year, so why not a Kim Possible special? Second question. How would Kim survive all 5 nights at Freddy's? She'd just smash the robots. Seriously, it's not hard. They would probably smash. She'd probably smash them. What do you think Kim and Ron's kid is doing in high school? Probably trying to walk in his or her mother's parents' shoes. That's the best way I could see it. Alright, thank you for those questions, XB. Moving on now to Sleepyhead Extreme, who asks, if you could revive the show, how would you do it? I kind of already answered this, reboot and revive. Although if I was to go with a reboot, I would say maybe give more into why Kim's a secret agent. How is she picked and how is she trained? Maybe actually have a villain, one of her villains be the person who trained her. Although that's been done that's been done to death all the time, so maybe not. I wouldn't have that at all. Now that I think about it, it's been done to death so many times. Second question: who is a lesser villain from the show that you think should have had more screen time? Gil. I think Gil was pretty big. I'd like to say maybe some of the the Team Go villains. That'd be cool. All right, if Kim had her own ongoing comic, who would you put her in the Marvel or DC universe, or would you prefer to be self-contained? If I was to put it anywhere, it'd be the Marvel universe. But I think self-contained would work as well. Second question, wait, those were all your questions. So thank you for those questions, Sleepyhead Extreme. Moving on now to Matt Kaiser 08, who asks, if you were to make an all-new villain for KP... I already answered this one. Sorry, Matt. Second question. Kim Possible Godzilla crossover. How would you write it? Maybe have Dr. Dementor. He more or less mind controls Godzilla or some other kaiju and sends them on a rampage, and Kim and Ron pilot Mechagodzilla. Kiryu. That'd be awesome. Third question. Who is the most hated character for you? No one. Never really hated any of the characters. Anyway. So think of those questions. Matt Kaiser, moving on now to Kobe Romy, who asks, Kim and Ron versus the Cloverfield monster. Who would win? Chuck Norris would win. Yeah. No, but seriously, I think Kim and Ron got a shot. They've got a shot. Anyway. Second question. Dr. Draken hires the Ginyu Force to take out Kim. How do you see Kim reacting to them? First, she'd think it was ridiculous, until Raccoon or Ginyu punched her in the face, and it wouldn't be that ridiculous anymore now, would it? Third question. How would you see Kim Possible interacting in the Jurassic Park universe? Her fighting dinosaurs? I think she's done that before, hadn't she? I want to say yes, but yeah, I think she's got a good chance of surviving. Alright. Okay. Name of those questions, Kobe Romy. Moving on now to Travis Rendon, who asks, do you think Kim Possible is too perfect? Do you think... Basically, he's asking, do I think she's too perfect? No, she had her flaws. She sometimes let boys get in the way of her thinking process. And... yeah, she did, like, she kind of overanalyzed things a few times. I think she had her share of flaws. Second question. Do you think Kim should have taught Ron some martial arts moves, or at least to defend himself? Yeah, kind of surprised Kim and Ron didn't do that more often, like have sparring matches, or her training him to be, like, I don't know, a better fighter. Fuck, marry, kill. Shigo, Bonnie, and Monique. Kill Bonnie, fuck Shigo, and marry Monique. And there you go. Think of those questions, Travis Rendon. Moving on now to Lord Slayer, who asks, Draken, Doofenshmirtz, and Mojo Jojo meet. What happens? They get together to form like a new supervillain group, but nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. Because they're all trying to be like, I will rule over the world. You'll rule over the world. No, I will. I will. I will. So think of those that question, Lord Slayer. Moving on now to Cody Bradish, who asks, do you think it was a right move having Kim and Ron get together at the end of the series, or think they should have just stayed friends? I didn't mind when they got together. I think everyone kind of wanted that. Well, the people who didn't ship Kigo, that is. But yeah, I think it worked out. Alright. I already answered the favorite episode from the show. Alright. Third question. So say one of Kim's missions had got her caught up in the middle of one of Godzilla's rampages in Japan's, and it turned out that the two, mission and the rampage, were connected in some way. How would the two be connected? Well, kind of copy and paste what I said with Matt Kaiser's thing, is that Draken's kind of mind-controlled Godzilla, and now Kim gets in Kiryu and kicks some ass. Alright. But thank you for those questions, Cody. Moving on now to the Red Genesect, who asks, what would Kim Possible and Rose Wilson, a.k.a. Ravager, think of each other? I think those two, Kim would see her as a little too violent, but, trying to get past that violent and aggressive nature her father kind of implanted in her head. I think there's a possibility for being friends, but, Rose ain't exactly the best person to be around. Anyway, second question. If you had to choose one comic company... I already answered this one. And your third question is, what do you think a mirror universe of Kim Possible would be like? Probably evil and wicked and very intelligent, and she'd kind of be like... She'd almost be like Red Skull or Poison Ivy, or just someone who's just so cold and calculating and downright dangerous. That's what I think. Alright, moving on now to think of those questions, Red Genesect. Moving on now to Dylan Malone 14, who asks, Kim Possible meets the Black Dragons. What happens? She'd probably kick some ass all the way to Kano. But yeah, the Black Dragons are so dangerous and they're so bloodthirsty, I think Kim would definitely need some backup on that one. Because these guys play for blood.